Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our first Business Builder Workshop of 2021. My name is Justine Paradiso, and I'm the Marketing and Programs Manager for the Dubuque Area Chamber of Commerce, and I thank you all for joining us this morning. Before we begin, I would like to thank our ultimate presenting sponsors who make this event possible: Medical Associates, Midwest One Bank, TH Media, and Q Casino. Please give them a virtual applause from wherever you are. Today's presenter is Lisa Lieberman-Wang, founder and CEO of Success Strategist, professionally and personally, F.I.N.E to Fab. She will be sharing today the 7 secrets to building your business in today's economy. Lisa is a business and life strategist helping entrepreneurs create multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses, supporting professionals and million-dollar organizations to create organizations to up-level their business. Featured on TEDx and regularly on ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, and the CW. She was recently ranked top 25 leading women entrepreneurs. From wherever you are, please give a warm chamber welcome to Lisa Lieberman-Wang. And Lisa, let me make you the presenter.
Awesome. So hello, everyone. I'm excited that you're here. I'm going to actually open up my chat so I can see you in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what business you're in today. What is the business you're in? I'd love to see it in the chat. And I'm also going to start sharing my screen, except I'm sharing the wrong one with you. We'll figure out which one it is in a second. So hopefully you can see my screen right now. And if you do, say yes in the chat, and it should be a big picture of me, and I'll know we're on the right one. Okay, so my name is Lisa Lieberman-Wang. I joke that I'm the only Jewish Chinese woman with this name, so it's easy to find me anywhere online. And today is really going to be about you, your business, the organizations you're part of, and what you can do to grow your business in today's economy. For some people, it may have been challenging recently. For others, you may be thriving. Wherever you are, I'm going to give you different resources that you can use and apply immediately to see results, okay? So let's start with the fact, and as I'm getting myself with this PowerPoint going, let's start with the fact that today we need to think about things differently. And what I mean by that is that no matter how we thought business was before, since COVID, the pandemic, we've been in recessions before, but the way things are, it's even more extreme, and how we do business, we need to think about it differently. You know, and you need to know we're in a winter economy, and in a winter economy, that's when you think about the trees, you don't have an abundance of leaves, there's not a lot of fruit on the trees or anything else, there's a scarcity mindset. And when we realize that, there's a lot of times people don't know what to do in that kind of economy, and the first instinct is we need to cut prices, we need to be competitive, we need to do that, and that's like the best way to put yourself out of business. In a winter economy, we need to think differently. We need to think about how do you add even more value? How do you stand out from the crowd? How do you help people where they need it? Maybe even reinvent, innovate, market differently, and that's what we're going to talk about. So what happens in this kind of economy is that the challenges are for businesses, and the challenges for businesses today is this: you know, either you're out there and there's tons of competition and you're competing with it, or maybe you have a great product and service, but no one even knows about it. So that's a big challenge. And maybe with all the noise going on, that it's not, you're getting lost among all the noise, or you're spending money on social media and ads and other things and not getting the results you're looking for. Or maybe you go live on social media without a following and you think, okay, I'm gonna use the papers, no one's watching. I'm using billboards, no one's driving anymore. You have less people on the road if they're not going to work, and if they're working from home or homeschooling and other things. So you say, let me use social media, and you go out there, but you don't know how to have, you don't really have an active following or audience. Or maybe you don't have a proven plan that works and you're trying to do what worked before, but it didn't work in this kind of economy and you're wondering why it's not working. So I consider that like crickets. You do something, you're waiting for a response and you're going, crickets, is anybody there? Is anybody there? So that's one of the things. So you start scratching your head and saying, what do I need to do and how do I get around this? Well, Mastering the Millions, you're one conversation away, is the 7 secrets you must know to grow your business in today's economy. And the way this came about is that no matter what was going on in the world, whether it was in the abundance of a summer or spring economy or we had a winter economy, there were certain things that had to happen that literally made businesses grow into the millions. And this is something I found because I've proven it not just for myself, but for other people over the last 3 decades. And when I put it down, I realized that what has to happen are these 7 keys, and the 7 secrets are: your mindset has to be in the right place, taking massive action, modeling success, measuring, managing, marketing, innovation, and mastermind. In the time together, I'm going to kind of dig deeper into the first 3, and then I'm going to show you how to get the rest at the end. And I'm going to make sure, if you want more information or you want to have access to the PowerPoint, just go to 90210 and message F.I.N.E to Fab, and I'll be happy to get it for you. I'll also be doing some special gifts. I'm going to share with you how to get one of my books, Brand You, Become the Expert. And that's for more sales, more clients, more often. So you can check that out. So the first thing is mindset. And what I want to make sure you understand about mindset is that every business, the chokehold of the business is mindset. It's the owner, it's the leaders, it's the management, it's the people that actually will prevent or prohibit versus open up the opportunities for us. So if you ever wondered why some people succeed and others don't, it's mechanics, and the first thing is mindset. And then the second is, when we look at mindset, we need to understand that your income is in direct proportion to your beliefs. And the word belief is an interesting word. There's a word in the middle of it, and the word is lie, and it's the lies you tell yourself. So if you actually look at the word belief, you create your own reality. You know, if you think about what stops you from taking action, it can be the lie, L-I-E, in the middle of beliefs that you're telling yourself. You're either telling yourself that the economy is amazing, things are great, everything's wonderful, or you're telling yourself that it's super difficult, I can't do this, no one's buying, no one's coming out, things are hard, and no matter what you tell yourself, you're right. Success is 80% psychology and 20% skills. So the most important project you're ever going to work on is yourself. And you may be saying, well, I want to hear about business, Lisa. Well, I'm letting you know you are your business. You know, things that stop you from achieving success can be everything from perfectionism, fear of failure, not taking the big steps, making excuses for what's going on, procrastinating, expectations or distractions, or even lack of consistency can affect you. When COVID hit, this is really what the business crisis trend looked like. The first thing that happened there was shock. People were like, what do I do? I have no idea. And we just all stopped. And I think it was human reactions. We stopped what we were doing and we just took no action, right? Maybe you freeze or you're startled, right? You didn't know. And then the second stage happened to be desperation, like a stampede and overreact. Now there's concerns, making bad decisions. You know, are we going to be in business? We're not. We didn't know anything about the government bailing people out or anything else. The third stage is evaluation, considerations, and stagnation. Like, where are we? Maybe some people made some good moves or bad moves. Some people are getting back, you know, are we going to be in business? Are we closing the doors? Are we opening the doors? Lots of bad decisions, businesses collapsing. And then comes the deliberate action, strategic rebound, stage 4. And then stage 5 is surge and burst and preparedness, opportunity, and then business continuance. Key behaviors for success is to decide, adapt, deliver, engage according to Harvard Business Review. And one thing I need to tell you that is we have 4 seasons between winter, spring, summer, and fall, and we're in a winter economy. People still are spending money. And that was the concern so many people had when COVID hit this last year. They're thinking people aren't spending money anymore, but it's not true. People are still spending money, and even prior COVID, we were in a winter economy, and 93% of the gross domestic product was still being spent in the fall, and it's still being spent now, but it's being spent differently. So we know that 560,000 businesses open every day and 530,000 close annually on a regular basis, even before the recession. But I want you to know that since 1790, we've had 47 recessions. 47. 7. And in the toughest economies, I want you to know that out of the Fortune 500 in 2009, some of the biggest companies in the world started in a recession. Companies like IBM, General Motors, Disney, Toll House Cookies, Microsoft, CNN, and Apple. So if you don't think it's an opportunity, I'm going to let you know it is an opportunity to either reinvent yourself or to take yourself to the next level. But this has so much to do with the mindset. You want to be your own raving fan, be so in love with what you do and who you help that you're able to tell everybody about it. Avoid marketing myopia. Marketing myopia is if you're in the industry, if you're in the mortgage business, the finance, or everybody's holding up a sign saying I do mortgages. If you're in the finance industry, everybody in that industry is holding up the same sign. If you're in consulting, same idea. How do you stand out from everybody else and avoid marketing myopia? Marketing myopia is when you're focusing on the product rather than the customer. Fall in love with your customer more than your product, because you may find you need to shift something in your product to serve your customer. Find out what they want and need and deliver it to them. When you start thinking about how you can fill the need in the perspective of them, everything changes. And we do that by branding ourselves so that people understand what you can do for them. Now, I'm going to give you an example of how we need to know that, how we're doing this by we're serving the customer versus worrying about the product. So if I was to go ahead and I said to you, I sell shovels. I sell shovels. Would you like a shovel? Put in the chat if you want one of my shovels. Okay, and you may say, no, I don't want a shovel, Lisa. And I'm thinking, well, why don't you want a shovel? Shovels are great. But then all of a sudden, let me give you another scenario. It's 4 feet of snow outside. You have no way of getting out your door. Do you want my shovel? Absolutely, you want my shovel, because now it's a want and a need that you have because of a problem you're dealing with. When we learn to brand ourselves and market ourselves to the customer's wants and needs versus our products, you become a leader, an authority, and generally people will want to do business with you. So creating a personal, unique brand, it allows you to charge a premium. It's not about discounting. It's about really building relationships so they know and like you and see you as the authority. So this is me. I've been on ABC, NBC, CBS, The Talk. I've been on all these different shows, as well as on stages of up to 25,000 people. And I only got there because I became the authority on how to build yourself and build your business. So this is in front of 25,000 people. I have them raising their hand and patting themselves on the back for showing up. And just like you should right now for being here to invest in yourself and your business. So no matter what it is, you want to find in your industry how you can be the authority where people come from all over to hear what you have to say that you can serve them. And that's the important thing about standing out today. There's so much noise out there on social media, online, offline. How do you stand out so that people hear your message and they see you're the solution to their problem? That's the biggest goal. Okay, if you'd like to have a copy of my book, Brand You, Become the Expert, you can go to brandyoubecometheexpert.com. You can get the book for free and just cover the shipping. And if you just want the ebook version, just go to free, period, Brand You, Become the Expert. Welcome to do that. When you get there, I'm going to actually share with you a way that you can learn how to sell anything, anywhere, to anyone. If you want, check that out as well. It'll give you a 57-to-1 increase in your sales just with what I teach you there. But let me share with you how important it is to change your beliefs and change your mindset. This is Lisa. She's a head nurse at one of the hospitals, and she has been teaching leadership. She has about 300 nurses working under her, and she's been in the industry for many years. And she had tried to start a business, and even this is important to hear, amongst COVID, for 5 years, she had no clear direction, was not able to get it off the ground. And what she did is she came to me, started working with me, and we actually branded her. And instead of it being she's offering leadership programs for nurses and so forth, and we knew what that would give them. It'd give them opportunity for advancement, it'd give them opportunity for higher wages, and all the other things. It wasn't working for her. But we branded her the Nurses Institute for Leadership. And let me tell you what happened. She did her first, we created funnels and did things for her to be able to get talks out there and educate people, as I'm educating you. And she did her first talk and she had a 400% return. She ended up enrolling 6 clients in one conversation, in one talk, by rebranding, understanding what to say, what the needs are, and how to fill it. So that was pretty amazing. And that's during COVID. I just need you to hear that, during COVID. That was just several months ago. So no matter where you are, if you have any limiting beliefs saying this won't work, I can't do this, this is going to be hard, I'm going to tell you, write them down and then rip them up. Take a piece of paper, a pencil, write them down, then rip them up and throw them away or burn them, whatever the case is. They're only a figment of your imaginations. Your beliefs can be either constructive or destructive, but never seek advice from your fears. You want to set a goal. Right now, I encourage you to write down a number. Write down a number that you want to earn this year. If you are in a big organization like a bank, it could be what's a goal that you need as far as hitting your goals or quotas. If you're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, or a business and you have, whatever it is, what are the goals for the company? So I always encourage you to write down 3 goals. I want you to write a goal for this year, 2021, 2022, and 2023. Remove the thought of how am I going to do it, just what is the goal, because the how follows when we have a big enough why. So put down the goal, what you want, when you want it by, and what that is specific. Just put down a number. Whatever number you wrote down, I'm going to encourage you to make it higher, because you probably already thought I had to play it safe. I've actually helped people go from 0 to hero, to go from 6 to 7 figures, to go from very little to doubling their income, 400% increases during COVID. And it all started up here. I am telling you that that is the first thing you need to work on. So set some goals. The other is see yourself hitting those goals. And what I mean by that is see the future in advance. Your unconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real or vividly imagined. So if you tell yourself something often enough, you'll believe it's true. So the easy thing to do is to actually just set out those expectations, and then you'll make it your reality. Okay, so that's the other part. Now, this whole thing reminds me of stuff that happened to me many years ago. What I mean by that is COVID reminds me of something that happened to me years ago. I had worked for companies like IBM and MCI. I was in corporate sales. And what ended up happening is, if you're old enough as I am, MCI became WorldCom, and WorldCom and Enron in the same year went bankrupt. And if you remember that, put in the chat that you remember that, and what ended up happening is my 401k, my ESOP, employee stock options, everything was in this 401k with MCI WorldCom. Well, what ended up happening is they went bankrupt, and so did my life savings, because I had everything in there. So I was a millionaire at 30 and a pauper at 40. And I had just invested $250,000 in our backyard. And I say invested, which you can never really get it back, with putting in pools and waterfalls and gazebos and everything in our yard. And we lost it all. And it reminded me of COVID, where we just didn't see it coming. There was no forecast. We didn't know what to do. And before you knew it, in our case, we were $500,000 in debt. And we didn't know where we were going to go. And what I'm sharing with you is not like a myth. It's not somebody else's story. This is my real facts, what happened. And I decided to see the future in advance. And that's going back about right after 9/11 followed, and WorldCom and Enron's thing just a couple of years later. My husband lost his contract with PricewaterhouseCoopers after 9/11, and we just pretty much was losing everything. $500,000 in debt, had 3 months left to pay our mortgage. How did you go from prosperity to desperation overnight? And I don't think we're the only ones when you think about it with what's happened with COVID. Your business could have been thriving and now it's dying. It could be, you could have been surviving and now you're thriving. Wherever you are, I want you to know you can see the future in advance, and that's what we did. We saw ourselves getting out of it, bigger and better, even bigger goals. And every year we created new vision boards and identities of where we're gonna be. And today, because of the work we did back then, we're even more comfortable than we ever were before. We feel very blessed, but it's because we saw the future in advance. It's because of the mindset. It's because we made a decision that we were going to do it. And the thing is, you need to see it and achieve it. You need to believe it, see it, and achieve it, and it'll happen. And you put yourself there as if it's already happened, and the rest will come. The most important investment you'll ever make is in you, because you will make the difference. I asked my friend Sharon Lecter, who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad with Kiyosaki, and also Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. And she also wrote 3 Feet from Gold and Think and Grow Rich for Women by Napoleon Hill. And she said the most important thing to do today is invest in you. And I think that's super important. I've been investing in me for over 3 decades. I had met Tony Robbins back 27 years ago when I wasn't in a great place and I needed help. And I've been serving him. I'm a platinum partner and a trainer for him as well. When I wrote my first book, this is one of my friends caught him when he started. He goes, "Oh, you said you were going to write it." He knew that he was a big part of it. But investing in you is super important. And then anyone Tony ever mentioned in the footnotes of the books over the 27 years, I've gone to personally learn from. And the reason I'm saying this is not to impress you, but impress upon you that your belief systems, your mindset is totally contingent upon what you're putting in there. And with COVID and everything else, you need to be putting positive in there. You need to be believing that everything is possible and you'll find a way. So how do we create more sales? You know, how do we build our business? Well, first is you have to find people that are buying, and then you have to sell the people you find. And know that they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting your offer. I always think about it as they're rejecting chocolate chip cookies. And what I mean by that is you may be offering them oatmeal raisin, but they don't like oatmeal raisin. They don't want oatmeal raisin. They don't need oatmeal raisin, but they totally love they're rejecting chocolate chip cookies but the thing is they want oatmeal raisin cookies. So you may not be offering them the right cookie. So it's not about you. I remember I was going to speak one day and I had 25,000 people in the audience, and a woman says to me, "I hate sales." I said, "Why do you hate sales?" She goes, "I hate getting rejected." I said, "I have been in sales all my life and I've never been rejected." She's like, "Oh my gosh," she says, "I hate it. It's like, it hurts me so much." I said, "Hun, they're not rejecting you. They're rejecting chocolate chip cookies." When we understand they're not rejecting you, they're just rejecting your offer, it makes it easier to understand. You want to sell them what they want and deliver them what they want and need. It's finding that sweet spot in between what they want and need. Know that people buy for emotional reasons and they justify on logic. So you have to communicate to the want and need so you hit them both and you hit their heart. Because here's the deal, when they're in their head, they're dead. When they're in their heart, they're smart. Get out of your head, get into your heart. You need to reach people in their heart, not up here. Cerebrally, we'll justify, we'll negotiate, we'll do all the other stuff. But when you want something, think about it. When you want something, this doesn't matter anymore. It's totally from here. It's figuring out how to serve people in that place. Know there are 4 natural defenses that every client has. They need to trust you. They have to have a need, not just because you think they have it. They have to believe they have a need and want. They have to want help and have a sense of urgency to make it happen. Those are the 4 natural defenses. The challenge is people sell based on their fears. So if you have a fear that things are expensive, you're probably justifying prices with people. If you have a fear or belief that things require more time or less time, you're probably selling on that as well. So you probably are selling based on your own. Listen to your customers' needs and sell them what they want. You know, that's a super important thing. If you didn't get it, listen to what I just said. You know, a lot of people, I'll use weight loss. A lot of people need to lose weight, but it's not until they want to that they'll actually make the change. A lot of people, you know, will go ahead and, you know, you start thinking about based on how you justify things. That's your frame of reference. I like to say, leave your 4 at the door. Your frame of reference, your 4 at the door, and listen to what your clients need and want, and watch how things change. Never seek advice from your fears. You know, this is Rob, one of my clients. He came to me. This is right before COVID. He owns a CrossFit company, an amazing, amazing business. But in 4 months, he had 103 people walk in his business, and his sales team only closed 7%. Not very good, right? So he asked me to come in undercover, and I went in to go work out, and they said to the person who got me in there, got me registered, brought me in, I worked out. They go, "Have you worked out?" I said yes. And then when the workout was done, they said no workout is ever the same. They're always unique. It was like a semi-private workout. It was quite amazing. I got done and was like, oh my God, I think I lied because I never worked out like that. So if that's what working out is, I've never done it. It was amazing. And when it was done, she turns around to me, and like we had a fitness person, then this other person, the salesperson, comes back. She says, do you think you'll come back? And I was like, I just said it was amazing. It was awesome. You should have just asked me for my credit card. I just totally loved it. But instead, she didn't have the belief that Rob, the owner, had. She did not, she was selling to her own fears because she thought the prices were too high. She actually had like, oh, would you come back? Like, really, you're gonna come back? She wasn't there. We had to change the way they were selling. We had to change the person who was in command there. And what happened is after I evaluated, we changed the whole sales process. The next 11 people, 10 enrolled. That became a 91% closing ratio. For him, those 10 people made him an additional $22,000 in the first year. The average client stays with them for multiple years, which meant that you think about it, they stayed, just 10 clients made an additional 22,000 in the first year. But if you continue the same 91% for the next 103 and closing 94, it'd be over $213,000 for the first year. And the average person stays 5 years, which would mean over $1 million in revenue. I've been teaching people neuroscience and human psychology and sales. And Rob is a client who went through my NAP Leadership and Coaching Academy. And he's amazing. But we had to change the mindset, not just that he carried, but even his employees, because he got it, but they were missing it. And you need to make sure it's disseminated in your entire organization or you lose money. So number one is mindset. Number two is taking massive action, okay? And it isn't about doing a little bit every day that creates, it's not about doing one big thing, it's about doing a little bit every day that creates real wealth. And that's what you want to do. So you create a plan, and I'm sure you've heard the expression SMART goals, and I like to think of it as specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Is what are those SMART goals that you're creating for yourself? I already asked you in mindset, create a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. Well, now you've got to break it down. After you have your 1 year, what do you have to do every month? Every week, every day? It's a cinch by an inch, it's harder by the yard. And you want to look at what's result producing activities that make the register ring ka-ching. And I always think about that. It's not the administration that you're doing. It's not moving your papers from one side to the other. It's actually the conversations that create cash. It's putting, and I actually have all my employees have signs on their desk that say conversations create cash. What that means is that if they're just moving things around and they're not talking to people, if they're not building relationships, they're not building the business. So they have to create conversations of who do you know, could you, would you, should you, really create those opportunities. Years ago, I was trained by one of my mentors, Tom Hopkins, and he said it took 29 no's to get a yes. So every day I'd start my day with a page with 30 lines of people's names. So every time someone said no, I'd say thank you and hang up. Thank you. And I'm like, I'm that much closer to a yes. So think about the approaches that you can be making, whether it's direct referrals, evaluations of people you can be getting in front of, that you can have conversations to talk to them about how you can serve them or someone they know, and to be able to build your business. So start making a list for conversations that create cash. And here's one of my clients, Vinu. She came to me, she's a parent-child peacemaker, absolutely incredible, had a phenomenal business. But part of the challenge that she had was, one, the massive action, and also the conversation. She wasn't taking the massive action. She was out there, but she didn't have the right conversations. Within just about a month of working with her, she was able to close over $72,000 in business. In less than 6 months, she made well over 6 figures in her business. And here's what it is. That was something that used to take her a year that she was able to do in 6 months. It's because of changing the pieces I'm sharing with you. It's these little things, cinch by an inch, harder by the yard. You know, the other thing you want to focus on is other people's people. So take out a piece of paper and pen. If you haven't already been taking notes, I'm surprised. So please take some notes. This will be worth millions. At least it was for me and the people who I've worked with. They've done amazing. Is right now, take a moment and think about, who do you know who has your client in their waiting room? Who do you know who? Who do you know who's doing business with your client? So one of the things I found over the years is that when you get to know your ideal clients so well, you know what they do, who they are, where they go, all the other stuff, and that's something I'm very big about working with my clients. So we save time and money on marketing. We can identify who else are they doing business with. And when you do, you can go over there and you can end up working affiliates, joint ventures, shared opportunities to leverage other people's people. OPP is other people's people. So I taught this to one of my clients, Brenda, and Brenda came to me originally through F.I.N.E to Fab, and F.I.N.E was how I always say, F.I.N.E was how I used to feel. And I'm going to share with you the book. My #1 bestseller was F.I.N.E to Fab, which was effed up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional, fabulous, awesome, beautiful. And she, when she met me, you can see her picture, her before and after picture. She had released six dress sizes and felt great. But then she was looking to start a business, and she never really was able to do anything successful. And it was because nothing was aligned. She wasn't congruent. And when we got her aligned and everything else, this year, part-time during COVID, in March, she calls me up scared, like, oh my God, my whole business is in person. She's a transformative Reiki master. We branded her. She says, I can't see my clients. They can't go to the office. I said, no, you can. You'll do it through Zoom. And we changed how she did business. She did better this year, part-time, working 20 hours a week while homeschooling 3 boys, part-time, than she did any other year before by applying other people's people and the mindset and everything else I'm going to share with you. But how she did that is she partnered with, found her ideal client was going to yoga studios. They were going to the local gyms. They were looking for meditations. They were looking for that more holistic approach to things. And when she was able to deliver to them, leveraging other people's people, it was 1-to-many versus 1-to-1, total leverage. And you want to think about that in your business. So other people's people, taking massive action, #2. #3 is modeling success. There is no reason to recreate the wheel. I love OPE. As you seem to notice, I like acronyms, right? I love other people's experience. Why try to reinvent the wheel? I've been working with dozens and dozens of mentors like Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, Jay Abraham, Keith Cunningham, Tom Hopkins, Chet Holmes, Frank Kern, Kevin Nations. I mean, you name them, I studied with them. Why? Because why would I want to try to recreate it if they already figured it out? I just want to do what they tell me to do. And that's what works. And that's how we help businesses create multiple 6 and 7 and even 8-figure businesses, is finding a proven system. Now, here's what I'm going to share with you. Whether you're following someone like me who has a proven system, or you want businesses and or consumers to follow you, you need to have a proven system. And I'm sure you do, because if you've had success stories, if you've helped people achieve whatever it is you're marketing, you have a proven system. You need to identify what that proven system is and what it looks like. And it's not just a concept today. People are looking for proven systems. They want something that is tried, not something that's a theory. It's a very important thing to do. So when I had started Mastery to Millions, I shared with you the 7 secrets, but within the 7 secrets of building your business in today's economy, is Mastery to Millions. And within Mastery to Millions, there's some things in there, right? There's more. And what it is literally identifying your confidence formula and creating your intellectual property, what separates you from other people, understanding your ideal client and knowing your target market and where to spend time and money, having a sensational soundbite. I'm going to actually give you this today. It's a pretty cool thing that will change how you communicate with people so they'll raise their hand and want to work with you immediately. Having a signature program that is your proven system, your unique formula, the difference that makes the difference, creating a signature talk like I'm doing now, which gives value and actually has people walk away with something that's actionable that they can get results with immediately, but also differentiates you from other people and gives people reason to want to be able to reach out for more. Creating funnels that will actually be generating revenue while you're sleeping so that you're constantly being out there and being found. Landing pages to be able to connect with potential clients and prospects, and then promoting your programs online and off. Mastery to Millions came about because I tried to figure out, one of my clients said, Lisa, what is it you did that made it so every business you ever started did 6 figures? And how did you get your businesses to 7 figures? And I looked at it and I said, well, there were so many commonalities, and it was stuff that for me was simple, but harder for others. These are the steps that are necessary to actually continue to make the register ring ka-ching. Here's Oliver. Oliver is a client of mine. He has an unbelievably successful business. He's in contracting, and he wanted to actually be able to start another business, and he wanted to help people build wealth in multifamily real estate. And it was interesting because he didn't know how to do signature talks that sell. He didn't know how to do funnels. He didn't know how to do that. And just within the time together, in his first talk that he did, his first webinar, he got his first client for 5,000. But that's not all he got. He ended up getting investors and other things for his property, and Oliver is worth over $100 million in his real estate portfolio, and that's what he teaches people to do. But he wasn't able to market it. Even though he had a contracting business, he didn't understand how to build a consulting business, and that was the difference. So sometimes modeling success is the real answer to it. So signature talks that sell are super important. I'm going to share with you another one of my clients, Maggie Cook. Maggie Cook is amazing, and she actually had started her business. She came from an orphanage with 68 siblings. She from Mexico. She was homeless eventually, living in another state away from her family, and somebody told her about a fresh salsa contest for salsa food, and she ended up entering the contest and won, and a stranger gave her $800 and said, you need to start a business, and she did. She built it to a multi-million-dollar business, and she eventually sold it to Campbell's for $231 million. But what most people don't know, and she's allowed me to share, is she gave all that money away, because that's who she is. She just wanted to help other people and the orphanage and other things so people wouldn't have to go through what she did when she had to hunt for food. And she wanted to start a consulting business but didn't know how. So I want you to hear what happened with Maggie and what she learned with me. Okay, so here we go.
Hi everyone, Maggie here. So about 2 years ago, I took the Tony Robbins online program called KBB, which is the Knowledge Business Broker Blueprint. And I finished, but I got stuck because I guess you're supposed to figure it out after that on your own. So I'm so fortunate that I met Lisa. I met her at the E-Woman conference in Dallas, which I was a keynote speaker there, and we connected. I'm currently taking her platinum coaching, and I also took her online business program on how to build a business course. And let me tell you, the very first week after I was done with this program, I made $23,000. Lisa really, truly cares about her clients. She wants to see results. She will hold your hand. She will walk you through and through. And I'm so blessed and so fortunate. Lisa, I am blessed by you, and I can't wait to be making more money with you. Thank you.
So Maggie is not the only story, and within 6 months, she made over $168,000. It's by following a proven system. You know, here's another example. Jasmine started Eva Larry to give yourself a raise with 3 to 5% increase, and she's quite amazing. And teaching her the same thing, she did her first signature talk that sells, and she only had 5 people on there. But what happened is when you know who you're marketing to, when you understand your messaging, when you brand yourself properly, you don't need to have millions of people following you, just need the right people. And just with 5 people on a webinar, she actually was able to get her first client and made $13,000. And a week later, she got her next. And here as well, she actually owns a multi-million-dollar electrical business as well, but she was looking to build something she hadn't done before. She needed a proven system. So this is important. I want you to get it. Now, this is something that right now, if you can, take a picture of the screen, because I'm going to teach you how to actually create a signature talk, a sensational soundbite that will make people raise their hand and want to hear what you have to say, because we're looking for proven systems right now, right? We're looking for modeling success. And what I found is that when you are actually sharing with people what you do, most people make a mistake. They turn around and they say to somebody, well, I'm in mortgage, I'm in banking, you know, I'm a carpenter, I work in an office, whatever it is, I'm a coach, I'm a consultant, but it doesn't sound very good. You don't actually know any more about it. You don't know what makes you unique. You don't know what's in, the person listening doesn't know what's in it for them. So they go, oh, that's nice, right? But when you have a sensational soundbite, what you might have called at one time an elevator pitch, this is even better than an elevator pitch because it actually overcomes objections, is very clear about who it's for, and tells them the advantages or benefits of working with you, as well as has a call to action. So typically I work with, and you get to tell them who your ideal client is, who have the challenge of or the problem of, whatever the problem is. I help them get the advantages of working with you. And what that means is the benefit is the what's in it for me, and who do you know who'd be interested. So let me give you a couple of examples of this. So I was at an event with some other entrepreneurs, and it was a small luncheon, and everybody went around. One person said, I'm on TV. The next one says, I'm a lawyer. The next one says, I do myofascial massage. Another one says, I have an entrepreneur group for women in networking. I said, okay, great. So it's my turn, and I decide I'm a business and life strategist. I help people personally and professionally create multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses. But I'm looking at the people there, and I said, I'm going to actually use a sensational soundbite for personal development because I think we're going to benefit more here on that one. So I have 2 sensational sound bites. So I said, well, typically I work with women who are successful in some areas, not with themselves, overcome self-sabotage. I help them go from FINE, which is how I used to feel, which was effed up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional, to FAB, which is fabulous, awesome, beautiful. What that means is they get to avoid years of shame, blame, and therapy so they can live an authentic life, happy, healthy, and free. Who do you know who'd be interested? No sooner than we ended up getting up, breaking from the meeting, we walk into the next room for some tea, somebody comes over to me and says, you are why I'm here. And she became my client. Do you have a sensational soundbite that make people say, you are why I'm here, that they want to do business with you? You know, this is another one I have for my business. I'll say, typically I work with entrepreneurs who are frustrated and overwhelmed, thinking they should be further along with their business. I help guide them to take back control, stop guessing, use our proven system to create multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses online and off. What that means is they leave the stress behind and have fun doing what they love. Who do you know who'd be interested? These are different examples of sensational sound bites. I encourage you to create one. Once you do, be okay to modify it over and over and over again and test it with your ideal client until somebody raises their hand and says, yes, that's me, or oh my God, you need to talk to Steve. Oh my God, you need to talk to Sue. Whatever it is, create it to the point where people end up saying, I need you, or I know someone who does. That's when we know we have the sensational soundbite that works. Remember, the fortune is in the follow-up. And what I mean by that is that most people will reach out once or twice to somebody and get a no and think it's done. Most sales don't even start until the 4th contact. And I think the number is 80% of the sales start between the 8th and 12th contact. So knowing that, that doesn't mean you personally had to speak to the person that many times. Fortune in the follow-up can be sending emails, text, having them see you on social media, having engagements of opportunities of a talk or something else, following up, seeing you at networking events. The fortune's in the follow-up. Years ago, it took 7 touch points for someone to make a decision. Today, the number is 16 before COVID. I don't even know what it is today. It could be even bigger because I feel like there's so much noise and opportunity to connect that maybe you need to even make the number more. But the idea is you need to know that it's not about what happens today, but it's the consistency that will change the relationships when people are ready to work with you, that you'll be there. So show up, add value, and then later have people pay you for it. You know, being out there and being a resource is super important. Always find ways to add even more value to people. It can be as easy as just, you know, in putting things in LinkedIn, sharing information, being the expert, giving free advice. Never be afraid to give your best stuff forward free. I think people get scared. They say, oh, I don't want to give my best stuff, then they won't come to me. But I'm going to tell you, if you don't give your best stuff, they never come to you. So make sure you give really good stuff to people, add value as much as you can, and then eventually you can ask them to work with you and engage with you, and I think that's a big goal for it. Know that social media is supposed to be social. If you're using social media and you're strictly, LinkedIn is more business, The average income is $117,000 a year for the people there. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok and stuff, those social. So find a way to be social. You can do some business and make sure it's a sprinkle, like there's enough social before you just go out there promote. If you're just a promoter on social media, you're not going to get much. It'll be crickets. But if you actually add value, be social, and then when you're promoting something, they'll see it. So understand the difference. Always give, 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 ask. That's my motto, is give, give, and ask. And hopefully you felt like you were served today and giving you some great stuff for you to be able to apply for yourself. Always remember to follow up. And know what I shared with you now in the 7 secrets. We talked about the mindset. We talked about taking massive action, modeling success of other people who've done it. You want to make sure you're measuring everything you're doing, what's working, what's not, managing it, knowing what to eliminate, delegate, and automate. Always look for marketing and innovation. All business is marketing and innovation. It's not that we have to we don't have to change our business, but we do sometimes need to reinvent ourselves. And then the last is masterminding, and being part of the Chamber of Commerce. You already understand masterminding is being around like-minded people and different backgrounds will give you different perspectives of how to see things you wouldn't see before. These are the 7 keys to build your business in today's economy. And through Mastery to Millions, implementing what I already shared with you, you're really just one conversation away from where you want to be in the millions. If you had found that what I shared with you was helpful, if you're looking to take your business to the next level, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you want something that's actually working and proven, not just for me, but even for all my clients, then I would like to give you that opportunity to actually set up a strategy session with me. The value is $750. You can go to callwithlisa.com. I'm only making it available to the first 5 people that take action. And those are the people that are serious and ready to invest in themselves. The consultation is free, the strategy session is free, but if you're not ready to take action to do something with your business, then I ask you just to not take the spot of somebody else who is. And know that in today's economy, there is more opportunity than there ever was before. I shared with you companies that built their business in a recession, some of the top 500. If you're challenged, you don't know how to do that, you want to be able to bring it to the next level, and you're serious, then I look forward to helping you, and go to callwithlisa.com. Here's an example of another one of my clients, Dr. Terry. She had came to me and she had that scarcity mindset. You know, she was concerned about money all the time, so hence she didn't even charge her patients what she was worth. We found out when she was working and doing all the work, and she's allowed me to share it, that she was netting $66 for the effort she was putting in. I changed her a la carte menus to programs, started showing her how to package and bundle things. She found when patients were paying, they paid attention versus giving it away. And within 10 days, she actually generated over $21,000. And by the end of the month, she did over $45,000. That used to take her 6 months to do. So no matter where you are in your business, you can actually change it right now. There's no time or a barometer on what it takes to do that. And I encourage you to take the action so that you can see the results. The possibilities are there. We are in an opportunity where most people don't realize you can have anything you want in your business. You just need to take the action. So I look forward to hearing from you. Apply what you learned, take that imperfect action so you can see the results. And I'll look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you.
Lisa, thank you so much. That was excellent. I am so glad I was taking notes, because there was definitely some really great information there and a really great way of thinking about things in a different perspective. So I appreciate that. And I know our callers do too. I'm checking the chat here. I don't see any coming in, but if you did not catch Lisa's contact information, contact the chamber. We can put you in touch with her. And then we had one question though, is just what was the text number to get access to the PowerPoint?
90210, and text the word FINE to FAB, no space.
FINE to FAB. Okay, and I put that. Oh, and so did you. We were on the same page there. Okay, excellent. Well, thank you all so much for being here today. Really appreciate it. I really look forward to, continuing the relationship with Lisa, and hopefully all of you do too. And please look out for more information about next month's Business Builder Breakfast. Thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you. Everybody be well, be safe.
Bye.
Bye.